I'd like to now show you Google Analytics. This is a fantastic site for really understanding what's going on in your website. It allows you to really look in depth into what the traffic's doing on your site, where is it coming in from, what they're doing when they get there. All that sort of information, it's all absolutely vital for you to understand. It's free to use. If you've got a Google account, you just access it straight. If you haven't, you click there. When you go in, what you need to do is you start adding your sites to it, and you'll be given a piece of code. The code is unique for each of your websites, so you can't use the same code on different domains. You have to use that domain's code on that domain, otherwise it's going to really mess up your results. But literally it gives you half a dozen lines of code that you copy and paste into your website somewhere towards the footer. Now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to show you a little bit about what you can find out on one of my sites. But before we go in, one thing I'd like to recommend is have a look at this. Okay, the product tour down here. Go and watch this tour. It's going to give you loads and loads of good information, and really, you're going to get a lot from that. So here you can see how many visits we've had. It shows you a nice graph of them. It's in this time period. If you click here, you can change the time period to anything you want. You can change different views, so you can see it day, week or month. If we scroll down further, we see the site usage, 106 visits, average 1.3 pages per person. This figure here tells me that most people have left fairly quickly, haven't spent long on the site, 23 average of less than 23 seconds. Most of the visitors have been organic search engine traffic, so they're new visits, people who've never been there before. Again, you can see here where in the world that they're coming from, mainly the USA, Britain and Australia. Again, further down I can see this shows me where my traffic's come from. Most of it is from the search engines. There's a bit of direct traffic, i.e. type in traffic, and then there's a bit here from referring sites, so they come from another site. And this part here shows me the content. So what you can do is you can click on any of these view reports and it'll show you more information. So let's start with the traffic sources overview. So here we have it. You can see direct traffic, referring sites, search engines, and you can see if I go down further, these are my top traffic sources. Most of this come from Google. There's been some direct, MSN, Yahoo and AOL. You can look at the full report if you want. Here I can look at the top keywords people have been finding my site through, and there's some really interesting ones. That's got nothing to do with it, but somehow someone's found my site with it. But you can see this sort of information that you have here, can't you? There's lots and lots of different keywords here. You can go through and look at them all as well. If I scroll quietly back up, you can go into more information. You can look at your keywords, you can look at your AdWords campaigns, your ads, your campaigns, all your traffic sources and everything else. So there's a lot of information here. Now let's go back a page and look at one of the other reports. Now this is the visitors overview. You can see here it tells you about what the visitors are. Most of them were unique. There's one that came back. I can segment my visitors, so I can look at where they are in the world, their languages. I can look at their browsers, their operating systems, the screen resolutions, all sorts of information. If I go down, here you are. I can see that 77 of my visitors came with Internet Explorer, 12 with Firefox, 7 with Mozilla, 7 with Safari, and 1 with Opera. So you can see there's different, this helps you optimize your site. So if I wanted to make sure my site looked best for the majority of my visitors, I'd optimize it for Internet Explorer. I can look here and see that unknown was the vast majority of them, but cable, DSL and T1, so most of my users came in through some sort of broadband or faster connection. Possibly these are dial-up. I don't know. If I scroll up slightly, I can look at a map overlay. I can look at all sorts of information about browser capabilities, network properties, visitor loyalty and visitor. So you can see here, one useful report is this depth of visit. This tells you how far into your site they came. Let me just click on that and show. So I can see here that 93% of people only saw one page. There's only one person really that saw 7 pages and clicked around the site. So this is useful so you can understand, are people actually looking at your site, or are they just going into one page and going nah, and off? So it helps you understand what people are doing once they get to your site. There's so much information here, it'll blow your mind. Let's find something else that we want to look at. Let's look at recency. So most people last visited, so you can see there's a few that visited a while ago, but most of them have never visited before, which is useful to know. But there's all sorts of other settings as we go down. You know, you can look at your goal, set up your goals in e-commerce. This is useful if what you want to do is if you want to track people coming into your site, okay, and then they complete actions. So you can set up goals. A goal is basically they click on this advert or they make this action and get through to the next page, and that helps you understand what's succeeding and what isn't. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. This is a little bit about the goals here. You may have your thank you for registering page as a goal, for example, so that people subscribe to your list, go through the thank you page. That's a goal, and that helps you see the conversion rates that you're getting. Very, very useful to set these up on your site. It will just help you understand what your traffic's doing and really help you make more money from them. Content here is another useful bit of information. Okay, well, I can see the top pages. I can look at how people found my site, where they came into it, what they did when they were there, and this site overlay down here is the really interesting one. What this does is basically it opens a window with your web page in it, and it will show you where people clicked. So if you've got links on your page, it will show you which links they clicked on. Absolutely wonderful tool, and one that is going to help you make money, because if you're doing, say, AdSense or CPA, then you're going to work out exactly where people are clicking. So it'll help you see which adverts are working and working well. So let's have a look at navigation summary now. So I can see here people came in here and left. Most of them left as well, but a few of them went on to these other pages. Gives you an idea. This little backslash here, by the way, slash key, is the root, the home domain. So if you just type in a domain, that's where it is. So you can see where people have come into your website. You can look at what pages they've left from as well. So I can look at what pages they've left from. What this tells you is if somebody sees if you see one page like this with lots and lots of people leaving on it, you may think, well, that page isn't performing very well. So you can go in and change it, and then sort of make everything a little bit better, make it work better, make it much more effective. Now, Google Analytics is very, very powerful. I mean, I've only just scratched the surface here with what you can do. But one thing you can do that, to be honest, is very, very helpful is you can set up tracking campaigns. So what you need to do is when you put links out on the internet to your page, end them with a question mark and then equals and then some sort of name. And what that will do is that will appear in Google Analytics as a page that people have come to, and help you understand where your traffic's coming from. It's a very, very simple way of tracking your traffic. Now, if I go into traffic sources and referring sites, again, look, I can see who's referring to me. Keyword Spy sent me someone, whatever that is, stumble upon, bing.com, articlesbase.com. So you can see where people are coming from. So, as I said, there is so much information here. A lot of people get very, very confused by it. But basically, install it on all your sites, and then what you want to do is come in, once every couple of weeks or once a month, have a look at how you're doing for your keywords, have a look at your site overlay so you can see where people are clicking, look at your referring sites, where your traffic's coming from, look at your bounce rates, look at where people are leaving your sites from, and so on, so that you can really integrate it all together and understand what's happening with your site. Yeah, basically it's much easier to tweak a site that's already working, already doing something, than it is for you to say, right, I'm going to go off and create an entirely new site. You know, you can probably make more. I mean, this site isn't performing very well. Do you know what, if I sat down and spent 2 days on this site, rewrote a lot of the content, you know, put it into maybe a WordPress blog, did a bit of promotion on it, I bet it would do really, really well. I bet it'll suddenly, bang, it'll be everywhere. It'll be really, really popular. Yeah, but you've just got to take the time to do that. And what this Google Analytics does is help you to understand exactly what it is you need to do. It tells you what's working and what's not working, which means that you can then, you know, do more of it. Really, really good site, very powerful. As I said, a lot of information in here. Watch the whole product tour, and that's going to help you. I think it'll do you really, really well to watch that, so you really get in depth with this. But basically, oh, well, I remember Conversion University. Do you know what? Go off here and look at this. This down here, Conversion University. Fantastic tool. It's all sorts of resources from Google, and you know, let's face it, Google know what they're talking about. It's a fantastic tool that gives you lots of information about how to improve your conversion rates, improve your traffic, and so on. Well worth spending half a day or so looking through that, watching videos and learning. You'll really get a lot from it. But this is Google Analytics. It's incredibly powerful, very, very effective, and it's something that you must be using on every single one of your sites.